works back inside.
Coming, Sanders looking for the end zone, and it is some good things.
Could the child be a little nervous? I got to witness the man perform at last. It was not anticipated by anyone. Shedeur isn't even anticipating it, in my opinion. And let's tell you the truth. Let's be truthful. You are all familiar with me. The largest is Shedeur Glazing, most likely. The Shedeur Glazing lieutenant is me. Do you understand what I mean? Didn't look very well. Didn't look very well. Do you understand what I mean? Additionally, I'm aware that some people want me to come here and make excuses for you. I have excuses, so don't worry. I want to start by saying that I told you all that I was returning to the Rams game. That's why I want you all here and why I make these videos. I think of myself as Shedeur, a fan, a glazer, this and that. However, I will be honest with you all at the same time. Do you understand what I mean? 2 sacks for 27 yards, an interception, 4 for 16, 47 yards, and a 2.9 average. His rating was 13.5. The day at the yard wasn't the best. He didn't have the finest day at all, yes. So let's simply pull off the Band-Aid. You know, I prefer to be nasty before being positive, because in all honesty, there was some fairly nice stuff there, unless you're a hater who's just waiting for Shedeur to come out and look horrible. Particularly near the end, you could see another burst of confidence that sort of exploded at him. We don't like the sacks he took, but that's just the beginning. I'm already going to start spewing nice things. You saw that he began tidying up in the game, right? All right, boom, he says as he began to take sacks, hey, I have to release the ball from my grasp. Then he begins to remove the ball from his hands. Now is the time to start throwing that D, deliberate sounding. Not very good. You can see why I think Shedeur is a talented player, right? You can start to see why I might just believe in what Shedeur has to offer. You feel me? And you know it's going to be a fun week. The pass he threw to the crowd was like a, hey, not great, but man, oh man, as he started to settle in there, a little 2-minute drive where he made that big throw to Harold Fannin. You know a lot of folks are going to receive their W's. You know what I mean when I say that a lot of people are going to you? They're heading to the victory lap. They will say things like this and that. I apologize for interfering with the video. However, Kevin Stefanski will discuss several things in his post-game remarks. One of the things I want to mention right away is that Kevin Stefanski confirmed that Shedeur Sanders' first snaps with the starting offense since the Browns drafted him occurred during the second half of today's game. Once again, I don't want to, because you're going to watch the video, I won't offer many justifications, but I will give you the facts. He looked like someone who might have needed some first-team reps based on the way he heated up at the end. And additionally, things could have looked a little better if someone had received some first-team reps. Let's hear what Kevin Stefanski has to say about Shedeur Sanders' debut.
You know, we'll look at it, but he's going to battle like he does. So I'm sure there's things that we can clean up, but those are things we'll look at tomorrow.
Hey, man. Hey, man, it's easy for the Shedeur haters to just say that he's that bad. You know, there are a lot of people who think, and shout out to my man Zach Jackson, and people who say DPI like they, and you're going to see the throw that I'm talking about later in the video. Indeed, they are. This week, they are going to be quite noisy. Hey, I told you all if you believe something or not, don't you? You can't just believe it when it's simple, dude. When you understand what I'm saying, you can't simply trust it. Given that Lamar Jackson recently posted a 48 QBR, I'm sure there are a lot of folks who are admirers of him right now. They will also have a challenging week. There will be a few running back jokes. You have to take your lumps, dude. Man, embrace your lumps with a smile. Now let's watch the remainder of the video. I'll state that Lamar Jackson has 2 interceptions and a rating of 47. I'm just going to make that public. I'm going to admit that guys occasionally play poorly. By the time Shedeur arrived, either both of the Browns starting tackles were gone, or at least one of them was. That boy was getting hot after all. His face was under pressure. In fact, he did a respectable job of a little bit of scrabbling. So in light of everything, is this a fantastic debut? Was it what we were hoping for? Was it what the admirers of Shedeur had envisioned? No, dude. The most absurd aspect of all of this is that as a result of these things, I genuinely didn't want Shedeur to exist. I must admit, I felt sorry for Dillon Gabriel since he had to deal with the offensive line and the hardship he faced. We're beginning to understand why you don't want to play Shedeur Sanders in similar circumstances. Not because he's incapable, is that correct? Not because I don't believe there is any lack of skill there, am I correct? I don't think he's a bad ball player. Now, he threw some terrible balls. Now, can the child be a little bit anxious? I mean, is it possible for the child to have some anxiety? can we allow him to enter the game when he didn't anticipate it, with all these people chanting his name, all this pressure and all the things that annoy big-headed people like me, Anthony Lima, Tony Gracchi, and everyone else who will be taking their victory laps? Proceed. Victory lap on a half sample size with a man who, to be honest, wasn't receiving first-team reps as recently as this Friday. Lacks the chemistry, the feeling, and everything that comes with receiving first-team reps. And, all we can do is speculate about what would have happened if Shedeur had only received a few first-team reps. We know that he's been working hard. We know that he's been putting in extra effort, but that won't change who and what he is. It goes beyond football's X's and O's to explain why people like him. Now, I want him to get better. I want him to perform better. I want him to continue figuring out how to throw those 25 yards. Where a toss was made that
job, including just now coming off the field with the red zone drill that we did. So continues to work very hard, doing a nice job in meetings, doing a good job in the field. I mean, going back to the spring, we've done a lot of things that we really hadn't done before because you have so many rookies. You have 2 rookie quarterbacks. You're trying to maximize every minute you have out there. So certainly throughout this season, we've tried to be extremely intentional about development of our players. We've done individual periods on Mondays and Saturdays, which we haven't done before, for players that didn't play in the game. Just trying to add up all those individual periods, all those minutes of development with their coaches. I think it's just important with young players. And so you're not just assuming that they're getting better by sitting in the meeting room. You want to give them physical reps as well.
So, there was a throw in the end zone after all. Can I find that, dog? A throw like this, and I want you to see prime time. 1 minute remains. What I observed is that it's really simple to paint with a broad brush and say, man, Shedeur's ass. Oh, I see. Shedeur is awful. Oh, I see. Isn't he talented? But you really need it on the 3rd and 5th. I mean, the heat in Shedeur's face is what I'm witnessing. He seems decisive to me. Man, throw this ball. And now this is a difficult catch. It's not an easy catch. I want that to be known. I'm not upset with Isa B. Gage has it, which is why I think this is a fantastic play. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's in Gage's hands right now, and he just rips and battles through it. What a fantastic play, man. However, unless you're a prejudiced anti-Shedeur dude, that's a really good place ball, man. He has his back to you. It's male coverage, You get what I mean when I say that it's your guy, Gage, that you finally get to toss to someone you trust and they have a bit better? Hey, I've gained some trust in him. We've got things under control. We've got it. However, do you understand what I mean? It is really limited to hand grenades and horseshoes, isn't it? We had to be honest, We must be truthful with ourselves. It wasn't the best. We didn't expect Shedeur to do that. We wanted Shedeur to be exceptional in every manner, including shape, form, and style. But man, you have to keep doing it because that's just the way life is. Thank you for the 99. I recently received a $10 super chat from someone who said, hey, FB, you're my partner. However, when you openly declare that your backup representative is not your focus and purposefully reject his assistance, it's coaching malpractice and a setup. Let's investigate this further now. I want you to know that I don't want to lie. I don't want to urinate on you and tell you it's poor
at all. So everything, I just gotta take this one, I gotta take this one, I gotta decompress, I gotta understand, this really happened, on my watch. So I don't like the feeling, and I know offensively, if I'm able to get out there and have an opportunity, I know that I'll be able to take everything to a different level. Like I said, I'm still have the same confidence. I'm still me. I'll never go anywhere, Just going out there seeing daylight, that's all I needed, to see.
The numbers are still favorable here. I'm not sure if you can see that. This is a 3-on-3 match. For everyone who will be thinking, well, he didn't call the wrong protection. Did he? Then because his statistics here match. Once more, if you are familiar with calling protections, you will be able to comment, hey, he called the wrong protection. He would have an overload on this side if he invoked the incorrect protection. I'm not sure if you can tell, but he really has another lineman out here. He slipped correctly because there are 1, 2, and 3 defenders versus 1, 2, and 3. You would want a double team if the numbers are now equal, wouldn't you? Thus, XYZ, and they were probably heating them with some crazy stuff as well. However, I'm not saying that this is solely Shedeur's fault. Rather, it has a lot to do with Jin's. However, I believe it also has a lot more to do with the offensive line's lack of continuity. And I hate to be a Browns fan here. I hate to be a Browns supporter, but this is the true problem. The real kicker is this. Homeboy is offside on the 4th and 5th. Is he off? Wait, he is indeed offside. This is where the ball broke. He's gone too far. I don't want to come across as a Brown supporter, but the man had an offside and wasn't contacted. A little more heat is applied to the right tackle. Man, that's a difficult issue. That is a difficult circumstance. And you can tell that they simply aren't, they're not even obstructing. They are not obstructing. Take a look at this. I'd left. Goodbye. I'm leaving. I just want to make sure that the whole picture is painted. Shedeur didn't have the ideal start, but you can see how important it is to him. You can see that he has some passion, and more importantly, you can see him get better with each new performance. As I mentioned earlier, it appeared that he stopped taking those early sacks. He accepted them, dismissed them, and decided not to accept any more sacks. He did take a purposeful grounding, but I believe that's better than taking a sack. That, in my opinion, is better than making an interception. I believe that being pushed into a situation must be really uncomfortable to survive. That is really uncomfortable. Like my man who just gave the $5 duck too much. Hey man, I'm proud of a guy who hasn't played and obviously hasn't had first-team reps. I have to tell you the truth. I felt anxious. We were conversing in the chat room. Man, I got them butterflies, dog. Dog, I got butterflies. I mean, this is my man. And, even if he's having a rough day or I anticipate bright days ahead, I'll always be on my toes about it. Those plays that at the conclusion, I thought, okay, wait a minute, I said. Hold on for a moment. All right, yes. I've never said that, but I can't sit here and tell you that Shedeur is the best thing alive. I believe Shedeur to be a really gifted young man. I believe he can handle adversity. Am I right? And I believe that he will react to this adversity in a really amazing way. First of all, a lot of people who don't watch my videos also assume that I'm anti-Dell, so I'm just eager to see. I would advise you to watch the entire stream in order to see all the videos. The only thing I have to say about Dillon Gabriel is pray up, brother. He had to play in front of this offensive line. This increases my empathy for Dillon Gabriel. Actually, to be honest with you, Dillon Gabriel deserve a Medal of Honor. I've been telling you for weeks that you made it through the Kevin Stefanski. How many weeks did you survive this offensive line and Kevin Stefanski? Hello, dude, because Shedeur versus Dillon is what the media wants you to think about. Hey, you know who was always present when Dillon came off the sidelines? Shedeur. And I do not doubt that Dillon would be there to support him if he hadn't been concussed. These two young guys are subjected to not only strain, but also expectations that are nearly unachievable. Thus, I'm pleased to see that he displayed some light. I'm glad he's calmed down. I'm glad to see that you lose tackles when everything is against you. You're not in the best situation, XYZ. Hey, he managed to continue swinging and finding positive methods, dude. However, thank you to all of you. It's going to be an enjoyable week, as I mentioned. This week is going to be enjoyable. Tony will have a lot to say, and all the Tonys will have a lot to say, dude. Thus, we will discuss it. We will tell the truth. I just want to say that I'm grateful that you guys can rock and roll with me, dude. If you enjoy the video, please like it. If you enjoy football stuff, dislike it if you don't. 12 will return. He will return large.